Okay, so what if I told you that the oldest story ever written, the very first epic, isn't actually about winning? That it's not about glory or some great hero's triumph. No, it's about something way more real, way more human. The absolute crushing experience of failure. This story was etched onto clay tablets almost 4,000 years ago, but it is just shockingly relevant. This quote here really nails it. It's digging into the exact same stuff we wrestle with today, feeling alone, that deep fear of death, and just trying to find some kind of meaning in the time we have. It's like a mirror, and it's not just reflecting some ancient king, it's reflecting us. All right, so let's meet our hero, Gilgamesh. He's the king of this incredible city, Uruk. But, well, he's not exactly a great guy. He's two-thirds god, one-third human, and 100% jerk. Seriously, he's this unstoppable force of nature who just abuses his power and terrorizes his own people for fun. But here's the thing. His cruelty wasn't just for cruelty's sake. The story suggests it's coming from this deep, profound loneliness. I mean, can you even imagine being so powerful that literally no one on earth is your equal? No one can challenge you, no one gets you. There's no one to just look at you and see a person. He was a power without a mirror. And his people, they were suffering so much they finally just cried out to the gods, begging for help. And you know what? The gods actually listened. They created this guy, Enkidu, a wild man straight from the wilderness who was Gilgamesh's total equal in every way. And after this massive wrestling match, you'd think they'd be enemies, right? Nope, they become the best of friends. Enkidu is the mirror Gilgamesh never had, and for the first time, this tyrant king starts to become, well, human. So with this newfound friendship, they get a little cocky. They feel invincible. They go off and slay monsters, they kill the bull of heaven. Basically, they're just showing off, defying the gods left and right. And the gods are not happy. They decide a price has to be paid, and they come up with the cruelest punishment imaginable. One of them has to die. And it's Enkidu who gets sick. Gilgamesh's reaction to this, it's not just sadness. It's a complete mental collapse. He just cannot accept his friend is gone. For 6 days, 6 nights, he just sits there with the body, talking to it, hoping it'll wake up. He's in total denial. And the thing that finally breaks him, it's not some grand realization. It's something small and visceral and absolutely horrifying. A maggot falls from Enkidu's nose. And that moment, that's more than grief. You could call it a psychological rupture. See, Enkidu's death stops being about losing a friend and becomes something else entirely. For the very first time, Gilgamesh looks at a dead body and sees his own future. He realizes his two-thirds god status means nothing. He's gonna die too. And his grief just snaps and turns into this paralyzing, all-out terror of his own death. So what happens next isn't some noble quest. Not at all. It's a panicked, desperate flight from death. He is completely consumed by fear. He abandons his throne, his city, everything. He literally tears off his royal clothes, puts on animal skins, and just starts running to the ends of the earth, looking for the one thing he thinks can save him: immortality. His own words just say it all, don't they? He's not searching for wisdom or adventure. This is a raw scream of fear. My friend whom I love has turned to clay. That phrase is just so brutal, so final. He's running because he can't stand the thought that one day he too will be nothing more than a pile of clay. On his journey, he runs into this wise woman, a tavern keeper named Siduri, and she basically lays out the entire lesson of the epic for him, right then and there. She tells him flat out, "You're never going to find what you're looking for. The gods kept eternal life for themselves. They gave death to us." She tells him to stop this crazy quest, go home, have a nice meal, be with his family, enjoy the small, beautiful parts of the life he actually has. And he completely ignores her. And this is what makes the story so incredible. Gilgamesh's quest doesn't end in some bittersweet victory or a noble sacrifice. No, it ends in absolute, total, 100% failure. There's no silver lining, no consolation prize, nothing. He gets 2 shots at it. First, to prove he's got what it takes to be a god, he has to stay awake for a week. He fails instantly, just passes out, proving he is, as the text says, mortal to the core. Then, as a sort of pity prize, he's told about a plant that makes you young again. He actually gets it. There's this brief moment of hope. But then, while he's taking a bath, a snake slithers up, steals the plant, eats it and sheds its skin right in front of him. It's just brutal. He loses one chance because of his own human weakness and the other to just random bad luck. Total defeat. So after all that, all the years of struggle, crossing deadly waters, fighting his own despair, this grand journey for self-fulfillment turns out to be, well, supremely unfulfilling. He's left with absolutely nothing. His quest to save his own skin was a complete and utter waste of time. So he returns home to his city, Uruk. He doesn't have the secret to eternal life. He doesn't have the magic plant. He comes back empty-handed, totally beaten. But in that absolute defeat, he finds something else. He brings back a new kind of wisdom, a quiet understanding that could only have been born from failure. And right here, we see this massive change in him. His whole purpose in life shifts. All that frantic, selfish energy he spent trying to save himself from death, he redirects it. All of it. He goes from chasing immortality for himself to building a legacy for his community. He finally stops fighting a battle he can't win. Instead, he puts his energy into the one thing he can do, right here, right now. He looks at the great walls of his city, Uruk, the very walls that protect his people, and he finds his purpose there. His real monument won't be his own endless life, but the bricks and mortar that will keep his community safe long after he's gone. So in the end, he does find a kind of immortality, just not the kind he was looking for. The epic seems to be telling us that real immortality isn't about not dying. It's about accepting that you will die, and then living in such a way that you leave something good behind for everyone else. And that brings us to the final chilling lesson of the world's very first story. Gilgamesh doesn't get a happy ending. He doesn't get a promise of heaven or some spiritual comfort. He just gets the cold, hard fact of his own death. And the story suggests that civilization itself, the act of building cities, of creating things, of working together, isn't something we do in hope of a reward. It's what we do because we know our time is short and there's no consolation prize waiting for us. It is our shared, defiant answer to our own mortality.